Well, the first thing that jumps out is their skill. You know, they have guys that can go up and make plays that other people can't. You know, and good coverage is not always even an issue with them. I mean, you can be all over them, and the guy just, you know, they've got multiple guys that can just go up and just, you know, big boy the ball away from you. So it's a tremendous challenge to our pass defense, but at the same time, they still do a good job running the football. You know, they've got a big back that likes to run through tackles. So, you know, they're a different style of offense in terms of what we've seen. So it's a different challenge from what we've had over the first month of the season.
What kind of tempo? Obviously, it's only averaging 70 plays per game. And what kind of strains that put on your rotations of defense?
Well, it puts, you know, you have to have a lot of guys that are ready to play because otherwise you get worn down. It also puts a strain just on your mental keys. Mental fatigue sometimes is more damaging than physical fatigue because you get more, you know, you just all of a sudden you're just not quite as locked in. Your eyes start to wander. You're just not where you're supposed to be. So their tempo, it's a physical problem, but sometimes it's more of a mental problem. So we will have to have a rotation of guys who are ready to go.
What kind of test does this offense present? Because it is one of the first pass-oriented offenses that you guys have faced this season.
Well, I think it's something we're excited to go against. I think it's a great challenge. I mean, certainly they know what they're doing, throwing the football. They've got again the guys that can go down the field and get it. So. But we're a little bit excited about the idea of going up against it. You know, our guys in the secondary and our pass defense and some of the things we try to do to shore that thing up. And there's no bigger stage to go test yourself on than the outfield.
You talked about early in the season about being a good tackling team. Where is that at? You know, how would you kind of assess the tackling over the first 4 games?
Like most things with the defense, inconsistent. We've got some guys that are better than others. From my vantage point, it seems like it gets better as the game goes on. I felt like in the first drive of the game last week, we let some get away, but then as time went on, we became a better tackling football team. Some of that's the people that are doing it, but I think it's something that's gotten better week in, week out. But we're nowhere near where we need to be.
I know against LSU and Auburn, you said you wanted the quarterback to beat you. Does it switch this time where maybe you want the running back to beat you? Want them to run the ball rather than throw?
No, because when you play this offense, if they can run it, you know, it's you're fighting the war on 2 fronts, and that's a war. It's hard to win. So, but again, that's still easier said than done. But you still have to try to take away what's easiest to do, and there's still nothing easier than turning and handing out the football off. So, as great of a challenge as they posed in the passing game, we still got to be solid versus the run.
Talk about the job that Richie's done for you over these first 4 games, especially winning the award this week.
Well, I mean, we've talked about him every week. I mean, Richie's playing very well. What I was proud of is a lot of times guys on defense, they will win an award just because of their stats. Richie had great stats, but he also played a great game. He made the plays that a middle linebacker should make, and then he made some also very difficult plays, making some tackles in space, big plays in the fourth quarter that helped secure our victory. So it was neat to see him in that environment when we were, you know, you just had a sense we were kind of a play away from really taking the game over there in the fourth quarter, and for him to step up and make those plays is big for his confidence of taking that next step of being a big-time guy.
I think today ESPN ranked Will Redmond as a first-round draft pick in this year's NFL draft race next year's. What makes him, from a coach's aspect, what makes him deserving of that honor?
Well, yeah, it's hard to we should dig up who they ranked last year and where they ended up getting drafted. What I know about Will Redmond is that he's a very hard worker. He takes his game very seriously. He plays at a very, very high level in practice. He's a very physical player. He's obviously, of course, he's blessed physically with length and speed, which are a unique combination at corner. And then he's got that ability to make that play. That play made it, you know, the first big play of the Auburn game was going to be important momentum-wise, and for him to step up and make that play. He'd kind of let one go a couple plays before, but for him to have that ability to step up and make that play, I thought really kind of got that first quarter momentum on our side, and you knew that whoever struck first would have a great advantage last weekend.
Brandon Bryant and Gary Green have been getting a lot more reps the past few games, especially last week. How much are you going to rely on them and players like them coming off the bench moving forward, especially this week?
Yeah, well, we need them. We need him. And Brandon's his role is getting, you know, bigger and bigger every week. Gary's learning more and more every week. I mean, certainly, you know, obviously with Richie playing the way Richie's playing, you know, we feel pretty good about our middle linebacker situation with those 2 guys. But Brandon is really making an impact at safety, and his tackling has been fantastic, and his ability to his athleticism and speed is really showing back there. And so as his confidence in his assignments continues to grow, his role continues to grow as well.